100 RMB to have someone help with parking, instantly making the valet's demeanor humble as he bowed his head and graciously assisted her. Zhao Liying, who had a salary from Qin Fei and managed the company's finances, although she didn't take Qin Fei's villa, she certainly didn't lack money. Coming from a good family, she was somewhat of a little wealthy lady, now holding Qin Fei's hand as they entered the Tianshang Renjian clubhouse. Upon entering, they immediately spotted old Ma waiting for them, who greeted them with a bright smile. "Mr. Qin, long time no see. How long are you planning to stay in North Deep this time? Would you like to visit our company? Many of our employees want to meet the real boss. Haha." Qin Fei chuckled. "I'll have my assistant visit when I have time." Old Ma immediately greeted Zhao Liying, but even though Zhao Liying had become a big star, she still held little status in front of some capitalists. Here, being a big star truly didn't hold much weight. How could big capitalists pay attention to celebrities? If it weren't for Qin Fei, Zhao Liying would not have been greeted by old Ma. Miss Zhao is truly capable. She manages Mr. Qin's company in North Deep very efficiently. Such an assistant is hard to find. Our Penguin Games company still needs Miss Zhao's help. Zhao Liying smiled gently and calmly replied, "Mr. Ma, you're joking. Your company is now valued at 5 billion renminbi, and your net worth is over 1 billion. How could you need my help?" Old Ma's company was developing well, and if it successfully went public, his net worth would surely multiply tenfold, with even 100-fold increase possible. He was in high spirits and began introducing some people present to Qin Fei. Now everyone knew that the CEO of Penguin Group had a strong company. He had secured investment from a wealthy Hong Kong tycoon, pouring in hundreds of millions of RMB to help raise the company. Hundreds of millions of RMB was indeed a significant amount in the mainland investment scene in 2008. Here, unlike Hong Kong, startup capital of over 100 million was quite sufficient. After all, hiring employees only required a monthly salary of 3,000, and the cost of living in big cities wasn't high. Therefore, hundreds of millions in investment was truly considered big money for them. A group of people looked at the wealthy Hong Kong tycoon, whispering amongst themselves, "I've heard Mr. Qin started in Hong Kong finance and has connections with the Li family. Knowing Li Chouren? No way. Li Char knows him? Wow, this young man is so impressive." Indeed, it was rumored that he was recently acquiring shares of TVB, aiming to become the second Sir Run Shaw. How could it be? If he acquires TVB to become Sir Run Shaw, that title was conferred decades ago. Hong Kong is unique in that regard. You don't know this, but with the Hang Seng Index falling, TVB's stock price has also dropped. He's seizing this opportunity to buy TVB's shares at a low price. The group was shocked, fully understanding how profitable Hong Kong finance was. When Hong Kong entertainment was thriving, it was due to strong finance. In that place, finance was gold. It was a land of wealth, with many big capitalists starting from finance, indeed having real money. In Hong Kong, there was a financial building where casually throwing a stone could hit several tycoons with net worth over 1 billion Hong Kong dollars. Hong Kong finance has been the leader in GDP since the 1980s, while Hong Kong entertainment can't compare. One operates in finance. As long as he doesn't go bankrupt, he will definitely be a tycoon. Mr. Qin, I've long admired your name. You're so young, and now the second largest shareholder of TVB. Truly a remarkable achievement at such a young age. Yes, the affluent families in Hong Kong are nothing like that. I heard that during the Hong Kong financial crisis, many suffered losses, but Mr. Qin has managed to maintain his value. That's truly impressive. Mr. Qin is doing finance, and he's certainly not short on money. I heard he bought the Wanda building in North Deep. Mr. Qin is incredibly wealthy. Indeed, the exchange rate between Hong Kong dollars and RMB is not that different. Qin Fei, holding the assets of the second largest shareholder of TVB, has already led some to speculate that his personal funds exceed 50 billion Hong Kong dollars. This is equivalent to 50 billion renminbi. What does 50 billion renminbi represent? The entire GDP of the North and Shenzhen combined is roughly around 50 billion renminbi over a few months. One person equals a city. How can they not be in awe? With admiration in their eyes, this is the power of cash flow. As long as Qin Fei wants, he can take out hundreds of billions of HKD at any time, a smile playing on his lips. I'm just a speculator in Hong Kong, making a little money during the fluctuations in the US stock market. I'm not anything special. A group of people wants to say that making a little money is impressive, but hundreds of billions of HKD? They work hard to invest, and making a few tens of billions in value is already quite remarkable. This big shot is truly too humble. Meanwhile, a crowd gathers around Qin Fei, with many wanting to attract investment for their companies. However, one person catches Qin Fei's attention. A person with the same surname, named Ma Yun, squeezed through the crowd and approached him. With a humble smile, they flattered, "Mr. Qin, my surname is Ma, just like Mr. Ma. My name is Ma Yun, and this is my Alibaba. Our Alibaba is very powerful. Our industry chain has spread across the entire network. As long as we open online shopping channels, it will definitely go viral." Alibaba refers to the predecessor of a certain treasure. Ma Yun built his career on Alibaba, achieving unprecedented success by opening online shopping channels. After 2008, it was the era of the internet, the strongest era of the rise of online shopping. Ma Yun found the opportunity to attract investment to expand this industry. Glancing at Ma Yun in front of him, Qin Fei smirked and didn't directly respond. Instead, pretending not to see him. Ignoring him, he turned to leave, leaving Ma Yun quite disappointed. That disappointed expression was clearly seen by Qin Fei. Of course, Qin Fei wanted to invest, but investing like this wouldn't secure him much equity. He needed to control the narrative and have Alibaba in his hands to take down a certain treasure. He pulled Zhao Liang closer and whispered in her ear, "In a bit, you deliberately leak a message saying I plan to invest in a few developing companies, but there are limited spots. Tell that person with the surname Ma. Let him come find me actively. His Alibaba is not bad. We can invest a bit." Zhao Liang looked puzzled and surprised. "Brother Qin, why don't you talk to him now?" Chapter 51. Qin Fei is an old fox. Qin Fei laughed and said, "Investment is essentially a mutual test of boundaries. He wants more capital, and I want the most suitable shares for acquisition. If I reveal all my bottom lines, and in the end, I don't get the shares I want, wouldn't that be a huge loss? If he speaks first, the other party might raise the price and only offer him 20 of the shares, which wouldn't be useful at all. It wouldn't earn much. But if the other party comes to him, begging, that would be different. He would have the qualification to raise the price, whether it's 30 or even 50. It could all be negotiated." Listening to Qin Fei's explanation, Zhao Liang looked impressed, unable to understand why someone as young as Qin Fei could be so shrewd. Compared to the group of capitalists in front of her, he seemed far more cunning, making her feel that the others were much older and that none of them could match his deep thinking. She believed Qin Fei was a financial genius. Little did she know, with 2 lifetimes of experience, even the most cunning old foxes couldn't outsmart him. Meanwhile, Ma Yun was ignored, wearing a painful and desperate expression. It was hard for him to find a wealthy tycoon from Hong Kong, and now he had heard that the other party was very rich but had refused his promising investment. He was disappointed for not securing the large capital, contemplating leaving, but then someone approached him, clearing their throat. As Qin Fei's spokesperson, Zhao Liang was indeed very beautiful, with the aura of a big star and her unique charisma. Every frown and smile radiated absolute elegance. Zhao Liang had perfectly integrated into her role as Qin Fei's female assistant, helping Qin Fei with his work. She certainly understood his intentions. With a slight smile, she spoke, "Mr. Ma, are you planning to leave? Our boss just mentioned he intends to invest in a promising and developing enterprise." "Mr. Ma, aren't you going to try to secure that?" She added, "Our boss said he is very willing to invest a few 100 million RMB, but this enterprise must have investment value." Upon hearing a few 100 million RMB, Ma Yun's eyes lit up, his expression turning joyful and excited. "Mr. Qin really intends to invest a few 100 million RMB in an industry? Our Alibaba is very suitable. We're currently expanding and have great prospects. If Mr. Qin invests, he absolutely won't lose." Zhao Liang, with a slight smirk, calmly replied, "You should know there are quite a few people here, Mr. Ma. Look at all these people. They must all want our boss to invest. You need to think about what you can offer to attract this investment." Ma Yun suddenly realized he hadn't even proposed his remuneration. Otherwise, no one would be willing to invest in him. Understanding this, he quickly reacted, expressing his gratitude. "Thank you for the reminder, Miss Zhao." The other party found hope and planned to explain Alibaba well, determined to secure that investment. Seeing the other party's confident and serious expression, Zhao Liying smiled, feeling that Qin Fei was indeed impressive. This time, it stirred the other party's strong desire. Now, as long as he approached, no matter what conditions Qin Fei opened with, he would probably agree because he knew many people were competing for Qin Fei's investment. This few hundred million RMB investment was crucial for him. Alibaba needed maintenance costs for online shopping, various labor costs, and promotional expenses, all of which amounted to astronomical figures. He couldn't manage it all alone. He had already poured in too much money, invested too much, and secured several investors. But now, he still faced a huge gap. With just 200 million renminbi, no, even 100 million renminbi, he could establish the website and open up online shopping channels, setting up national logistics. He approached Qin Fei with a serious expression. He took the initiative to speak again. Mr. Qin, hello, my name is Ma Yun. You might not know about our Alibaba, but you know about our Taobao. Currently, Taobao has very high traffic and popularity. Our total value is around 1 billion renminbi, with great potential for appreciation. I believe this is a great era for online shopping. As long as we get funding, our Taobao will definitely thrive. Qin Fei remained calm. The service at Tianshang Ruinjian was quite good here. Renting a private room for half a day's time would cost less than 100,000 RMB, which was cheaper than in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, a good night out at a bar would cost more than 100,000 HKD. And Tianshang Ruinjian was a well-known high-end club in Beishun. He ordered a red-pink beauty, sipping the cocktail delivered by the beautiful waitress while observing the people in front of him. Some entrepreneurs needed funds, and their fawning demeanor was indeed interesting, catching his attention and making him feel amused. A smile crept up as he looked at the person in front of him. He hadn't expected the famous Ma Shoufu would appear before him, looking so humble, begging for an investment. This was indeed interesting. Now, he intended to take control of Taobao's fate. Ma Yun sat nervously in front of Qin Fei. After all, he was the one trying to attract investment, while Qin Fei was the real decision-maker. Qin Fei appeared calm and composed, seemingly not even glancing at him. With a serene expression, he said, Mr. Ma, let's discuss this matter slowly. By the way, are there any others who want to seek my investment? I plan to start an investment company and want to invest in some industries in the mainland. This time, I'm planning to invest 500 million Hong Kong dollars. The mention of 500 million Hong Kong dollars caused everyone's expressions to change. They looked over in shock, unable to contain their excitement. Originally, an investment of 100 million Hong Kong dollars was considered significant, but now, a direct offer of 500 million Hong Kong dollars had already sparked immense enthusiasm among investors. This amounted to over 400 million renminbi, enough to buy a commercial plaza. Such a large sum of money drew many who wanted to attract funding to quickly approach him. Mr. Qin, we are in coal mining. I know of a few excellent mines. If we contract them, we will definitely make a profit. Mr. Qin, I'm from a plastic factory. Our factory has also been a pillar in the province. With this 500 million Hong Kong dollars, we can expand further. Mr. Qin, just give me 500 million Hong Kong dollars, and we'll be willing to offer you 90 of the company's shares. A group of people rushed forward, many eager for this investment. Ma Yun watched all this, finally realizing how precious this funding was. Many were competing to stand out, and he had to pay a price. 500 million Hong Kong dollars was incredibly important, far more than he had initially thought. With so much funding, he could completely open up the online merchant channels. And his face lit up with excitement. With a bright smile, he said, Mr. Qin, our Taobao is currently doing very well. It is quite famous domestically, and we have a large market. The online shopping platform is aimed at the entire nation. We can capture the national market. You should know the future of our online merchants. Listening to Ma Yun's words, Qin Fei nodded, appearing to seriously contemplate. After a moment, he appreciatively said, Mr. Ma, your platform is indeed impressive. Promoting it nationwide is quite good. However, I can't casually invest my 500 million Hong Kong dollars. Knowing that 500 million Hong Kong dollars was a lot of money. Ma Yun quickly replied, Mr. Qin, how about this? I'm willing to offer 30 of our Taobao's shares, which is already over 100 million renminbi. In the future, your shares won't change, and you'll receive dividends. What do you think? Qin Fei remained silent, seemingly in hesitation. He thought for a moment. then raised his head to inquire about a factory owner not far away. If I invest in your factory, how much equity are you willing to give me? The owner of a large factory in the province, looking excited, quickly replied, Mr. Qin, we are willing to give you 50 equity, including dividend shares. Qin Fei remained silent, but Ma Yun, biting her lip, looked serious and said earnestly, Mr. Qin, how about this? I'll give you 40, making you the largest shareholder of our company, and I'll keep 30. I guarantee your shares 1T change significantly. This time, Qin Fei smiled. After all, 40 is indeed impressive, and no one could surpass him. Currently, as the founder of the company, Ma Yun only has 30 equity, and she will definitely sell some in the future. Now he is getting 40. He would be the absolute largest shareholder with significant influence in the company. Qin Fei, now smiling, beamed to Ma Yun. Mr. Ma, you are too kind. Since that's the case, I plan to invest in your company and Alibaba. These are very promising industries. I have high hopes for your future. Ma Yun, looking pleased and grateful, eagerly agreed, feeling very excited. Finally securing 500 million Hong Kong dollars, he was truly overjoyed. Watching the other entrepreneurs look at him with envy, he couldn't help but smile. Now he was the ultimate victor, though he didn't notice Qin Fei's fleeting, playful smile. After signing the contract with Ma Yun, Qin Fei quickly transferred the 500 million. Seeing the other party looking humble and thankful for the funds, he intended to explain this to the company while making a phone call. Zhao Liang also approached, smiling gently, and said, Boss, it seems we landed a big deal for our investment company. This will help us grow significantly. Qin Fei smiled, pulled her into his arms, and said approvingly, Ha, you did well. Tell me what you want, and I'll ensure you're rewarded. Zhao Liang, closely leaning against him, looked at him with serious eyes. Then you have to stay with me all day today and can't leave until tomorrow. Looking at him with deep emotion, wanting to keep him close, Qin Fei felt her sincerity and gently stroked her face, readily agreeing. The two of them cuddled together. This investment in the company was indeed a big win for him. Chapter 52. Zhao Liang aims to be a big star with 500 million Hong Kong dollars. He could acquire 40 of a certain treasure shares. This deal was too advantageous. He knew that Ma Yun would probably regret this huge share transfer in the future, and even if she wanted to backtrack, it would be impossible. With his Hong Kong and Taiwan identity, the other party wouldn't be able to play tricks. Once that treasure developed, he would control 40 of the dividend shares, essentially having the other party help him make money. By then, even if he sold his shares, it would still amount to a significant sum. This investment was indeed very worthwhile. Just 500 million Hong Kong dollars, a mere fraction from his Hong Kong bank account. After completing a good investment, he played around with Zhao Liang, promising to accompany her. He had no intention of going back and didn't even answer Yang Yi's calls. The two played for a while before returning to Zhao Liang's rental apartment. They unlocked a scene and quite a few actions. The next day, looking at the obedient girl in his arms, Qin Fei personally called Director Zhang. Now that Director Zhang had returned to the mainland, he immediately bought a plane ticket upon receiving Qin Fei's call and rushed to Beishan to discuss the film shooting. The main issue was that Qin Fei had not provided a choice for the female lead, and Director Zhang was hesitant to start filming directly. After finally receiving Qin Fei's call, he was excited and quickly spoke up. Young Master Qin, I'm coming to Beishan right now, and I'll bring the script with me. We completed all the preparations here. We just need the female lead. I want to start filming as soon as possible to submit for the film festival in the US. The film festival was approaching, and he didn't want to delay any longer. He hurriedly bought a plane ticket and arranged to meet at the hotel at noon. Qin Fei patted Zhao Liang and, seeing her lazy expression, smiled. All right, get up quickly. I'm taking you to meet a famous big shot. Zhao Liang instantly perked up, looking at him with curiosity. Really? Who is it? Qin Fei said mysteriously. You'll know when you meet him. Others can't wait any longer. For the next few days, put your assistant work aside. I'm going to make you famous. He held her face, and Zhao Liang leaned in affectionately to kiss him. The two were intimate until the afternoon before leisurely leaving the apartment. They drove to the agreed-upon luxury hotel. Zhao Liang accompanied Qin Fei inside, and in a prearranged large room, Director Zhang was already waiting there. Although director Zhang wasn't particularly famous in Hong Kong, he was definitely a powerful director in the mainland. As a graduate from an acting school, Zhao Liying couldn't possibly not know who director Zhang was. Upon opening the door and seeing him, she was surprised, never expecting director Zhang to be there. Remembering what Qin Fei had told her before, she quickly realized that Qin Fei intended for her to accompany director Zhang in filming the movie. Director Zhang had already prepared the script and flew in early that morning with several actors. Noticing Qin Fei, he was all smiles and enthusiasm. "Mr. Qin, I've been waiting for you for half a day. After leaving Hong Kong, you gave me the money but didn't make any other arrangements. I've been waiting too long for this female lead. Only now do you bring her over." His gaze swept over to Zhao Liying, and he was 100% sure that this woman was the female lead of his movie. He couldn't help but say that she was very graceful and beautiful, clearly a well-cultured girl, tall and slender, with a great figure. She would definitely look good on camera. He was impressed by Qin Fei's eye for talent, managing to find such a standout girl. In fact, even if Qin Fei had presented an unattractive option, he would have had to agree. As the director of Qin Fei's entertainment company, he had no opportunity to choose roles himself. Seeing the female lead was beautiful, he felt relieved and genuinely happy. He immediately flattered Zhao Liying. "This lady is truly beautiful, a natural beauty, not much worse than Miss Yang. I'm sure that after a few films, becoming a top star will be no problem. It's an honor to collaborate with Miss Zhao." He extended his hand, and Zhao Liying was a bit overwhelmed with joy. She never expected Qin Fei would make her the female lead. She was so happy that she felt like crying. As she shook hands with him, she felt a bit nervous. "Am I really able to be the female lead?" After saying this, her gaze fell on Qin Fei, who nodded encouragingly. With a smile, he said, "Aren't you confident in yourself? Now that I've secured you the female lead role, you should be happy." Director Zhang also nodded repeatedly, insisting with Mr. Qin here, "Miss Zhao is definitely the best choice for the female lead. No one else can take the role, to be honest. The first time I saw Miss Zhao, I felt she was tailor-made for our script. She fits perfectly, and there's no one more suitable than you." Director Zhang was indeed good at flattering, and this one sentence about being tailor-made made Zhao Liying extremely happy. She grasped Qin Fei's hand, overwhelmed with excitement. "Boss, I will work hard. I won't let you down. I will perform well. I want to sign with the company and earn profits for the company. Everything I have is yours." She looked earnestly at him, her eyes filled with unspeakable emotion, her face incredibly excited. This opportunity, she had to seize it well, not just to become a big star, but also to repay Qin Fei. Having just entered the job market, she was chosen by Qin Fei to follow such a young rich man from Hong Kong. She truly felt she hadn't lost out. How many women wanted a young, wealthy man to support them? But who had such an opportunity? She felt incredibly lucky to have met Qin Fei. If it had been an older, greasy man in his 50s, she couldn't even imagine. But now, Qin Fei was young and wealthy, and he treated her well. She felt like the happiest person. Soon, Director Zhang took out the entire script and handed it to Zhao Liying. He was very focused on the film festival and needed to hurry with the shooting, as he couldn't afford any delays. "Miss Zhao, I want you to familiarize yourself with the script as soon as possible. We're about to start filming, so you need to rehearse quickly. Once I finish the movie, I'll submit it for the film festival, and I'm sure our film will win an award." Zhao Liying understood Director Zhang's capabilities. He had already won numerous awards. This artistic film was meant to win accolades. She nodded seriously, realizing that from now on, she had to double her efforts. "Yes, I will study it well. I have performed in many dramas, and I will memorize the script. Thank you for promoting me." Director Zhang felt relieved. He was genuinely worried that Zhao Liying might act arrogant, but it seemed she didn't have any attitude. This was the best scenario. Otherwise, if she had an attitude, he wouldn't dare provoke her, and the crew would truly be in chaos. Because everyone knew that in film production, the producers held the most power. As the producer, Qin Fei had absolute say. If he was unhappy with the script, he could directly demand changes. If he was satisfied with the role, he could request a replacement. Even if the director was unsatisfied, he could demand a new director. Zhao Liying didn't take her position for granted, which was evident as Director Zhang brought over several stars who also approached her enthusiastically to greet her. Hello, Miss Zhao. My surname is Wang, and I am also half a Bayesian person. This time, I am playing the role of the female supporting character. I hope to cooperate more with you, Miss Zhao. Wow, Miss Zhao, is your boss, Mr. Qin, really this handsome? He looks so young. Is he really a wealthy Hong Kong tycoon? I heard that Hong Kong tycoons are very rich, and they don't even plan to make money from filming this movie. Yes, filming a movie costs tens of millions, which is just pocket change for these Hong Kong tycoons. Otherwise, why would they invest in an art film? There are very few investors willing to invest just to win awards. They must know that the box office won TB too good, and they won't make money. Yet they are willing to invest. It's clear they don't lack money. It's just to promote Zhao lying. And it's not hard to guess the relationship between the two. In fact, this kind of relationship is often tacitly approved behind the scenes. The chaos in the entertainment industry is understood by everyone. They're just jealous of Zhao lying, seeing how young Mr. Qin is. To find such a young and wealthy Hong Kong handsome guy, some big stars from the mainland would want this kind of opportunity, but don't have it. Feeling the enthusiasm and envy from some people, Zhao Liang smiled gently and suddenly understood Yang Yi's feelings. She has now confirmed the identities of Yang Baby and Qin Fei, but she won to lose to that Yang Baby, who is already a famous star in Hong Kong. She is developing from the mainland and can also have the strength to become a big star there. Surpassing that Yang Baby is also possible. Qin Fei sensed Zhao Liang's seriousness, his expression calm, and he helped Zhao Liang arrange some things. I will find someone else for the assistant's job. You focus on filming the movie these days, and I will help you find a few female assistants and agents later. From now on, you can rest assured and be your big star. Zhao Liang leaned in with a playful expression, not forgetting to act cute in front of everyone. I'd rather be your assistant. I actually don't want to be a big star. If you let me be your assistant, I absolutely want to act in this movie. The seriousness in her words made Qin Fei laugh and roll his eyes. Don't mess around. The female lead in this movie is something others can't even get. Zhao Liang wasn't messing around. She used to want it very much. But now she doesn't want it all. She still feels that being Qin Fei's assistant is better. At least she could be by his side often. Becoming a big star might mean less time together, and she is a bit regretful. Chapter 53. In order to pass on the Yang family lineage, director Zhang's movie shooting began, and Zhao Liang, being familiar with the script, needed to stay with the crew. Qin Fei sent her off, which gave him the opportunity to return Yang Yi's call, knowing that the other party was still at a commercial advertising event. He reassured her to focus on the advertisement. He returned to the Yang family alone. Once back, he opened his computer to check the stock trends of the Shanghai and Shenzhen A shares. The index had dropped from 300 points to just over 2 points. The trend of the Shanghai and Shenzhen A shares was also falling along with the financial storm. In fact, shorting the Shanghai and Shenzhen A shares didn't yield much profit. He predicted the downward trend of the A shares and noticed a slight recovery at 2,800 points, reaching 2,900 points, indicating a trend to break 3,000 points again. His eyes lit up, and he planned to buy some A share stocks, contributing to the A shares. Apart from Matai, medical and bank stocks were also quite good. He focused on several major bank stocks. Now, he could take out 10 billion Hong Kong dollars from the TVB company, which is less than 9 billion renminbi. He predicted a wave for RM Bank with a price of 15.5 renminbi, indicating some downward fluctuation. However, an upward fluctuation was visible. He planned to profit from the Shanghai and Shenzhen A shares while they were recovering, and then invest everything into this bank stocks. This way, he could secure returns from both the rising A shares and the bank stocks. Earning a few billion RMB as pocket money was definitely possible. A few billion RMB considered as pocket money would probably make those inland capital tycoons in Beijing and Shenzhen envious. It's known that the current GDP in Beijing and Shenzhen isn't high, and a few billion RMB could easily support a district's ordinary white-collar workers. One can imagine how terrifying Qin Fei's money-making ability is. Now, as the Shanghai and Shenzhen 300 index reached 2,800 points, he directly bought into a rising wave, starting with a bottom buy of 9 billion renminbi. While buying, he kept checking the bank stocks. The rise in bank stocks was quite slow, but he wasn't in a hurry. He waited for the Shanghai and Shenzhen 300 index to go up. The 9 billion renminbi, after a rise, reached 10 billion renminbi.